Thurston County Environmental Health just showed up. We're going to talk to Morgan Mager from the Environmental Health Department about what she's going to do today to check the water quality of our lake. Okay, I'm standing here with Morgan Mager from Environmental Health, Thurston County Department of Health. They're doing their first test on Lake Lawrence for this year for water quality sampling. And I'm going to let her talk to what exactly they do, how frequently they do it, where they...
We test once a month for 6-month period, so May to October. This lake has 2 testing locations. I'm test for nutrients, so total phosphorus, total nitrogen, and then we test for chlorophyll A and phaeophytin alpha, which are kind of just indicators of algal growth. Do Secchi disc for total depth. It's to double, triple check that we're at the right location. And then 2, we have a couple of tests that we base our total depth off of. So we grab a top sample for nutrients, and then for the chlorophyll and phaeophytin, and then we grab a bottom sample about a ½ meter off the bottom, which is part of why the Secchi disc is important. Then we're gonna also do watercolor with Secchi disc and visibility as well.
So we aim to get the report done.
Here, do you want to hold the boat so I can get?
We aim to get the report done and out usually around June or July. So a water year goes from October of one year to the end of September the next. And our lake season, I'm sure as Morgan said, is May through October. Mm-hmm. And so then we just aim to get the report done, usually, hopefully around summer.
Summer of the next year?
Of the next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you obviously have some type of GPS coordinates for the locations you're going to test.
Yes.
And you take the test samples from those locations every time, or approximately right in that location. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're following Morgan and John out to the first testing location in Lake Lawrence, the main lake. So they're done with the testing at the first site. We're going to move over to the little lake now and do the test over there. And I'm going to get a little bit closer to them so we can actually hear and see what they're doing. So what's that thing called, Morgan?
It's a YSI EXO multi-parameter sonde, and measures pH, dissolved oxygen, specific conductivity, turbidity, temperature, but we don't really use the turbidity for lakes.
Okay. So it takes a lot of different measurements.
Yeah.
Electronically.
Yes.
And it transfers them to that phone-like thing I saw you holding?
The handheld.
Right. And that records it like a computer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We do also put it in the log book as well. 5.93?
Yep.
Okay.
5.93 meters?
Yep.
Okay. So a little bit shallower than the previous.
Yes. Yeah, that's what we're expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so John's just taking the total depth. And then I am just taking parameters down the column, the water column.
170 per second.
2.17, okay.
2.17 meters.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but basically it's...
Yeah,
I'll
that's...
pull it up a little more so you can kind of see
That's
what it looks
actually
like
pretty
in the water,
deep.
But kind of just, we lower it until I can just barely see it.
Yeah.
And then pull it up just until then, and then that's basically what you call it.
Right. That's a lot more clear than I would have expected, actually. So you have both feet and meter readings on that tape, it looks like.
Yeah, we just use the meter side though.
Yep.
We're looking at
So that was about 0.5 meters.
Yeah, 0.5 meters. I'm taking that sample at 11 o'clock on the spot.
I have it down the not as deep as the last.
So what John's doing is taking some of the water at the half-meter distance and putting it into a bottle, and then he'll take additional samples further down, at least 3 of them at different depths, and put it in the sample so he gets the entire water column.
Might be about to hit it. So yeah, I think the thermocline's around 3.5. That's where the last one was too.
Mm-hmm.
0.5 after this.
2.5? Yeah. That sounds good.
Actually, I'll just do 0.5 and 2.5.
0.5, 1, 0.5, and 2.5?
0.5 to 1 and
1. No biggie.
So that gray pitcock on the end of that device is how he bleeds out the water from the other end. So that was taken at what depth?
Sticking at 1.0.
1 meter. So half a meter, 1 meter, and then.
We're gonna do 2.5 for this one. We base it on the thermocline, so
Okay.
it's gonna be certain parameters are gonna be fairly consistent until they are not.
Okay.
So we kind of judge that off of a couple of things: temperature and dissolved oxygen. So at the thermocline, the dissolved oxygen is gonna drop off pretty rapidly. So we went from, like 11.34 was my last reading at 2.5 meters to 0.95
Oxygen?
dissolved oxygen. And then, so that's kind of how we pick where our composite's going to be. We take within the first part of the thermocline.
Okay. So you don't really have to take samples below that
Or
then?
before the thermocline. Excuse
Yeah.
me.
For chlorophyll A and phaethite at least.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Because they can only exist in.
Oxygenated water?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was the temperature that you got?
It's been 22, 18, and then 13.
At the thermocline?
Yeah, so at the thermocline drops from 18 to 13.
Okay.
Significantly less dissolved oxygen.
Yeah. So our surface temperatures, last reading we had, were right about 58 to 60 degrees.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
just a couple meters under the water, it's real cold.
Yeah. It's the deeper you go down, the colder it gets.
Yeah.
Your total depth was 5.93. Yeah, I think probably 5.5.
So now you're doing a test near the bottom.
Yeah. So this is gonna be the bottom nutrient samples. We try to get a half meter above the bottom.
Right.
We have a bottom depth of about 5.93. We're gonna try for 5.5. If we get too much mud,
And you do it
we have to
again.
try a little higher.
Okay. So what you're not testing for is the nutrient level in the sediment. You're
Just water
you're
samples.
testing just water samples.
Yeah.
Okay. That's important for us to know because total phosphorus in the bottom layer is important for us too.
Oh, yeah. I've got my fingers crossed for that one.
Well,
Look how
that was
beautiful
clear.
that is. That's a very good sample.
Yeah, that's a clear sample.
And we called it 5 even.
5 even.
Perfect.
So if you had one thing you'd like to tell our LMD members about on this testing, what would it be, Morgan? You have a baseline.
What'd you say?
You have a baseline.
To be able to track it against. You can see
You can
what.
kind of track it ramping up potentially over months.
Okay.
You can track historical, so if like lakes change, they could change over a matter of decades. So
Right.
we have that data now for it, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh,
I appreciate you coming out and doing this every year.
what?
I appreciate you coming out and doing this every year,
Yeah, of course.
and helping us determine the eutrophic state and the condition of our lake and water quality.
Yeah.